right, guys, this is Don with Overlanding Anglers, and welcome back to the channel. We are here right now, live at More Expo, and we're going to be installing a Midland MXT275. I'm really excited about this. I cannot wait to see how this works, and we're going to show you how easy these are to install. After we get it installed, on our way home, we are going to do a range test and a product review of this, and that's going to be another video. It's going to be awesome, so stay tuned. Jeff with Wander Off-Road Outfitters. Come on, Jeff. Come on in here.
How's it going?
Jeff is going to be the one that's going to do this install for us. So let's get to it.
All right, guys. So before we move on to the actual install video, let's take a second and talk with Zach from Midland Radio about why these radios are important. We actually did interview him at the conference, but unfortunately it looked like this.
Nope, nothing's wrong with your device. Unfortunately, we had technical difficulties and this video did not have any sound, but luckily, Zach was available for a Zoom call, so let's see what he has to say about GMRS.
So Zach, tell me a little bit about what you do at Midland Radio.
Yeah, so I'm the GMRS product manager, which means I manage the micromobile line, which is what most of the overlanding and off-roaders use. It's the micromobile, the vehicle installed products, but also our walkie-talkies.
Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit more about what GMRS is?
Yeah, so GMRS is General Mobile Radio Services. It's compatible with FRS as well, and FRS is what you would find in most stores, like when you go to buy a walkie-talkie, if you go to Bass Pro or to Walmart and pick up a walkie-talkie, that uses FRS frequency. GMRS uses those same frequencies and predefined channels. The only difference is FRS is under 2 watts and you don't have to have a license to operate it. GMRS is anywhere from 2 to 5 watts for a handheld, or from 2 to 50 watts for a vehicle installed one.
Higher wattage, a little higher power.
Yep, exactly. And with the GMRS, you do need to get an FCC license, but actually as of yesterday on April 19th, the fee for it just went down from $70 to $35. There's no test required, and for that $35, it covers you and your entire family for 10 years. So, pretty easy, entry into the GMRS.
Yeah, cost per year for that is just, I mean, that's nothing. So, when you talk about a $35 license for 10 years, that's absolutely nothing. Can you explain to us a little bit about why overlanders, people that are outdoor enthusiasts, why we really need a GMRS radio on our rig and some handhelds?
Yeah, so GMRS wasn't that popular in overlanding and off-roading until about 5-6 years ago. Prior to that, people either would use CB or ham. And the problem with ham radio is you have to be very knowledgeable. It's highly regulated by the FCC. You have to get a test, and you have to take like annual, classes to kind of stay up on that, and very difficult to use. So some people would have groups with ham, but it's hard to get your group very large, considering not very many people are going to go through it and take the test and do all that. The alternative to ham was CB, and CB is it can only go up to 4 watts, so not a lot of power, not a lot of range, and it uses AM frequency. And AM, if you ever talked on CB, it's very staticky. And so it made for very poor communication on the trails. Whereas GMRS, all you have to do is pay a fee, no test. You can get up to 50 watts, so a lot of range, a lot of power, and it operates using FM frequency, which is crystal clear. So instead of being staticky like with the CB, it sounds like you're on a phone call. You hear everything perfectly.
That is perfect, because I have from experience when we've been out on the trails or just out exploring in some parts of sorry about that. We got a motorcycle driving by. I've noticed being out just in rural areas, cell phone service is terrible, and it's hard to get a hold of your friends or your family, tell them where your campsite is or anything, just to talk to them, let alone send text messages or files or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really obvious use case for the off-roading and overlanding, for exactly that reason. One, you're off grid. You don't have access to cell service a lot of times. And secondly, if you're off-roading or overlanding, a lot of times you're either in a caravan or in a group of people doing it, and you want that one-to-many communication. Another benefit, over cell phones when you're doing it is you've got instant communication. You don't have to pick up a phone, dial anything. You just pick up your mic, you press the push to talk, and you're transmitting to everyone in your group.
All right, and I've got one more question for you. Now we're going to be installing the MXT275, or we actually already did. But can you tell us a little bit about the MX275 and why one would pick that?
Yeah, so the MXT275 is currently our most popular radio for off-roaders and overlanders. And the reason why is because most of the time, off-roaders have very limited dash space. And with the MXT275, all of the controls are on the microphone. So you can hide the radio unit away under your seat and your console, anywhere out of the way. And then you only have the microphone taking up space on your dash. And the 275 is a 15-watt version. Here soon, we actually will have a 50-watt version launching sometime here early in May, we believe. And I think that will end up being our most popular product for the off-roaders.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to seeing that radio when it comes out. And, hopefully I can put it through its paces one day. We can see what the range is after we do our range test. Well, Zach, thank you so much for your time. We're going to get on to the install now. So, guys, this is super easy. Just watch.
All right, guys, today we're going to do an MXT275 radio. These are super easy to install. I've talked with Donald here on how we're going to best do it. Right now we are going to run the antenna up on the hood, and then we're going to mount it to the side of his console. So this should be quick, easy. He's going to go with the 12-volt route. You do have options when you go to power it. You can run 12-volt, or there are ways that you can wire it directly to either your battery, ignition, something like that. 12-volt is always the easiest solution. That way you can make sure it's not always powered when you turn off your vehicle. There are other options as far as antennas go. You can run a longer cable up to your roof rack, to the back of your vehicle. People do run them off of their rear bumper. So there is this option. There is also the quick and easy, screw it into your radio, and this is a magnetic mount that just attaches anywhere you want it to go. All right, let's get started. This is what we're going to install inside the vehicle. It just has a quick release bracket, and we are going to get started.
The first step is mounting the quick release bracket for the radio receiver box. We chose the console because it's going to be easy to access, and the radio receiver is so thin it's not going to get in the way. We cheated and already ran the antenna cable through the firewall. We ran it through this grommet with no cutting required. Now, all we have to do is attach the antenna cable and the power cord, which we then run to the 12-volt DC at the back of the center console. Next, all we have to do is tidy up the wires and attach the microphone to the radio unit. Now, we tighten down Midland's universal antenna hood mount and attach the antenna. Last step is attaching the included mic holder, and we're ready for a radio check.
All right, guys, now that we've got this thing all installed and ready to test, we are going to try to reach Midland Radio on a handheld, and they are across the building. So, first thing we got to do, turn the key on. There we go. Change the channel down to 2. Turn the volume up a little.
Traffic, so you can just...
Midland Radio, do you copy?
This is Zach with Midland Radio. Copy loud and clear.
All right, guys, there you have it. The Midland MXT275 installed, tested, and it works. Now, Midland was also pretty awesome, and they gave us some of these X-Talkers. So when we do our range test, we're also going to test the X-Talkers for their range. So, until next time, guys, have a great week. Keep exploring. Bye.